What's really good? It's your boy, DJ Delz. The Delz Show. The Delz Show. We are live with the one and only Havok from Impact Wrestling Thursday nights on Access TV. What's going on with you?
Not a whole lot, just hanging out in the old Havoc's hangout over here.
Love it.
So happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's been something I've been looking forward to. What's going on with you lately? Talk to me.
Just aside from wrestling every Thursday night on Impact Wrestling, just kind of keeping as healthy as we can. I stream a lot on Twitch, video games and stuff. So just been keeping busy with that. Just trying to get back to normalcy as much as possible, whatever that is.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been up to, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy. Things are beginning to get back to normal. I just bought concert tickets to go see a show in September.
Who are you going to see?
Oh, it's this big festival in Virginia. It's called the Blue Rock Festival or something like that. There's maybe 100 bands playing for 3 days.
Those are the best.
Yeah, Megadeth is going to be there. Anthrax. It's weird. There's going to be hip hop acts like Public Enemy, Ludacris. Gojira is going to be there. I don't know if you're familiar with everyone.
I've heard all those names. I actually just got super excited to see because my favorite band is AFI.
Okay, go.
And I've seen them like 13 times in concert. And so it kind of hit me that maybe everything's starting to look up when they just put out their tour date. So I'm like, yes. So they're going to be in Cleveland in March. So I'm going to make sure that I get to that one.
That's impressive. I mean, to just be able to just say, you know what, let's live our lives and just go for it. I love that. Some people are kind of just scared of their own shadow. I feel like it's time to rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's important for not only just to get out there and just start, living normally again. It's important for all of our mental health too, honestly.
100%.
It's been a really, I feel it's been a very tough year and a half for a lot of people. And I know that it really affected me very much mentally. And so it's it's kind of nice to see just normalcy. So come on, people, get out there.
That's right. I mean, being stuck in the house, I know that you've done a lot of stuff because I did a little research on you this past during the pandemic, because I feel like, we don't need to talk about the pandemic for 20 minutes. I feel like you probably talked about it 100 times already in other interviews. But I heard that you're into the hair thing. You learned how to do stuff with hair. And you were learning different things. And like myself, I learned to do a bunch of other stuff. I wasn't streaming daily. Now I'm streaming daily and people freaking love it.
Do you stream on Twitch?
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not on Twitch. I stream on YouTube.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I also, I picked up a few things. I read about the stock market. I ended up making a little bit of money too while I was home. So it's maybe a blessing in disguise, but still sucks because of the fact that we lost so many great people. It's horrible to even say that, but you know what I mean by that.
No, for sure. Yeah, I agree. And just going on based on that whole I think it was important. What helped me mentally was trying to okay, I need to keep myself busy. We're stuck here at the house. I can't go get my hair done. I've been dyeing my own hair since middle school anyway, but I was like, I am going to try to teach myself how to put in my own hair extensions and securely and, things like that. I kind of taught myself how to do that. And I think that I do a pretty good job considering the circumstances. And challenging yourself and seeing what, I've always wanted to learn this. I'm going to learn this. And like you mentioned, I never knew anything about stock market stuff, but I was like, okay, this seems interesting. I'm going to check it out a little bit. Oh, cryptocurrency.
Oh,
Okay.
so you did too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I have a little bit of Dogecoin, but
There you go.
yeah.
I think
So it's like,
I think we all did that.
yeah.
It's the
Yep.
drizzling shits now. It went totally
Oh,
down, but
I know. So I'm just like going to leave it alone. I'll just leave it sit, and then maybe one day it'll shoot
Right.
back up. But
Do you do your own hair, or do you have someone that does your hair?
I do my own hair.
Now, right?
Especially now. Yeah, I do my own hair now. And I was at the gas station the other day, and then I saw my hair lady, and she's like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." And the type of extensions that I put in, she didn't do before. So, but then she just happened to mention, she's like, "Oh, just so you know, like my salon moved over here, and it's like literally 2 minutes from my house." And she's like, "And I do micro link extensions now." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it's crazy I'm running into her," because that's what I taught myself how to do. So I'm just like, I felt like that was like definitely not a coincidence. I feel like I was supposed to run into her, but I'm going to see how much better I could get at doing my own hair. And if I get frustrated enough, which is very possible, then I'll probably go back to her. I feel comfortable to be able to go back out in public and like go to a salon and stuff like that. So who knows? We'll see.
I mean, a lot of the women in my life, I feel like they just enjoy the experience of going to the salon and get pampered, almost like, right? Is that with you, or?
Yeah, it's pretty nice because it's like a kind of like a little space where we can, getting your hair done or your nails done, like it's like therapy because you could sit there and chit chat, you could gossip if you want, you could, just talk about stuff and things that girls do, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's very therapeutic. So
exactly, and
that's why I like it.
It's someone you don't really know that well, so it's kind of like you're talking to someone that you kind of feel comfortable. It's like that at the barbershop. I mean, I don't go to the barbershop no more, but like when I used to go, it's a lot of chit chat and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Slammiversary, July 17th is Slammiversary.
Yes.
You guys are actually gonna have an audience. That's gonna be the first time back, right? With an audience.
Yes, and I cannot wait. Like Slammiversary is already our biggest pay-per-view of the year.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite, obviously. I like whether I'm on the show or watching in the back, I love it. I love Impact Wrestling so much, and I have so much loyalty to them, and I'm so grateful to be part of Impact Wrestling. And us not being able to have fans, it's just like, man, like I miss that connection myself. So regardless of what happens, whether I'm on the show or not, like I'm so excited to have fans back in the building, and I cannot wait to see that energy.
Yeah, I'm sure hear it too, right? Just to hear it, right?
Yes, I can't wait.
I would assume you'll feed off of that audio, not even the visual. I mean, the visual too, but it's almost like two separate things too.
I'll tell you what. The audience is everything. Like, I always get so nervous right before I walk out. But as soon as I walk out and I hear everybody, it's like you forget about that the nerves, and adrenaline takes over, and you feed off of that energy. That's where I get my adrenaline. I'm also lucky though that I have really badass entrance music, and that alone, I'm like,
go.
Yeah.
I mean, when that comes on, you're probably hyped when you're by them curtains and you hear that shit rocking. You're probably
and I love it. It's like my music is extra special to me because my brother actually did the music for me, the vocals and everything.
Pretty cool.
He's pretty hardcore.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many masks do you say that you've worn throughout your career?
Wow, no one has ever asked me that. That's awesome that you just asked me that. I don't know. I'm like, wow, that's a good question. I would have to say that now I've been wrestling 17 years. I started wearing the gas mask when I was about 4 or 5 years in. So I've probably gone through, it's going to have to be a rough estimate because I don't know the exact number, but I've probably I've probably had about close to 20
Wow.
I mean, because you think about now there's some that I'm like, okay, this is my favorite mask. I'm going to try to get as much mileage out of this as possible.
Mhm.
And then when they seem to be no longer wearable, I clean them really well. And then fans that collect like merch and like,
Yeah.
like, in
In
ring
ring
memorabilia,
gear.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I'll sell them. And a lot of the
Yeah.
gas masks that I wear to the ring, actually, and I sell like replicas that are like not as like
They're not the ones you're wearing in ring, but
right.
they're yeah.
But and I'll sell those. Like I have like 15 of them in my closet that I have to like decorate, but I actually make them myself. I like will find all the parts and spike them out and put the LED lights and stuff like
That's
that.
it.
So yeah, I
Do
put a
you
lot of care into those. So
do you have a favorite nearby or no? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
nearby, you know what? I don't.
Okay, that's no
I
problem.
don't.
Hey,
I
listen,
think it's in the other room.
it's worth a shot asking.
Yeah. My favorite is the one that I've been wearing on TV. And the reason I love it so much is because you can remove the canisters and I just change the color of the LED lights depending on whatever gear I'm
Oh
wearing.
wow.
So I have purple lights, red, green, and then white.
Oh, so you could freak it with whatever outfit
Yep.
you're wearing. That's
Yep.
tough. I like that. That's
Yeah.
dope. What's going on with you and Rosemary right now? Because you guys have a whole thing now going on again.
Well, it's a great question. It's complicated.
It definitely
So
looks to be.
she is someone who has I've been in many battles with her, even before Impact, and then leading into Impact Wrestling. We've, like we have like this common thing called the Undead Realm, and we know each other very well. And I feel like part of the reason we know each other very well is because of all of the matches that we've had together. And it just so happens that over this last few months, I'm finding myself on the same side of fights with Rosemary at my side. I feel that there's definitely, I think there's something there. I don't quite have all of my trust in Rosemary yet because she is mischievous. However, she's never lied to anyone. I'm starting to see her point on some things a little bit. So we are drawn to each other right now, and I'm just going to see how this plays out. And what I like about this is the fans seem to be really excited. I can't tell you how many times I have had fans say, please, I wish you and Rosemary were a team. And I've always been like, no. But I'll tell you this about Rosemary. She is one who brings out the best in me in matches, whether we are fighting each other or on the same side. So there might be something there.
Yeah, I noticed, especially at the end of matches, we're seeing you two kind of going eye to eye with each other.
There's respect there. There's respect there.
And I love that. I think that's really awesome. I want to bring up something that I really enjoyed with your career. The battling with Su Yung. You almost took her out of the world at one point.
Got a little carried away.
A little bit, right? She literally was hanging from the stairway by her neck.
Oops. Yeah, I didn't quite finish that job, I guess. They call me the death machine for a reason.
Exactly.
No. Su Yung she would have to be another one that I would say brings out the best in me. I do have a few ladies in my that are on my list of my favorite opponents to share a ring with because we make such amazing matches together. Rosemary and Sue are two of them. And I would have to say that Taya Valkyrie is another one, but Sue is another complicated situation. And now there's Su Yung and Susie and Susan, Impact's resident Karen, Susan.
She's so good.
Susan might be my favorite. I can't stop laughing.
It's hilarious. I mean, it just shows how broad of the talent she has, and she's able to do all this.
She's impressive. It's like I feel like they should just keep adding personalities just to see, because I think she could do anything.
She's almost like a Foley, almost like a Mick Foley.
You know what? And she does the mandible claw and everything too. I think we got something there. I would definitely agree with that comparison. And one thing in particular that cracked me up with Susan, she just wrestled Deanna on Impact.
Yeah, last night, correct?
Yes, and she called her a disrespectful millennial the week before.
I caught that in the whole
or millennial degenerate or something. I can't. But last night in that match with Deanna did something, and Susan just like, "Oh, you're gonna professionally wrestle me right now," and I was like,
"You're gonna professionally wrestle."
She's gold.
Yeah, she is
gold.
Awesome.
I love it.
So yeah, I mean, I had to ask you that because that was just so good. I love when Impact does that, like the vignettes and the video telling the story, and Impact does that so well.
Yeah, I think that it like sets us apart from other companies, and I feel like Impact Wrestling it's amazing. Like the roster and stuff that we have. And my favorite, I loved filming the Undead Realm and the Undead Wasteland stuff. Like, I'm like, where else would I be able to do this? And we get to say, like, if there's something like creatively, like we could go, like if there was something that creative had, and I'm like, well, I don't think Havok would do it this way, but what I would approach it as Havok this way. They'd be like, okay, that's great. They very much stand on the fact, you know your character better than anyone. So if there's something that you think would make it better, please tell us. And I think that's part of why we have such a happy roster. I love it there. I love it there.
You like, it's not even comparable to the other companies with the storytelling. You guys are kicking ass with that.
Thank you.
So I know you love Lucifer. That's your jam right there, right?
It's my jam. I love it.
But we've been stuck in the house for so long. What is your favorite TV shows like that you binge watch like a beast? Like, you know, when you're sitting down just watching and watching and watching.
So one show that I never watched before the pandemic was Breaking Bad. So when we were just stuck in the house, like we binge watched that. That show was insane.
It was.
And Nevaeh is actually the one who got me hooked on Lucifer. And it was like torture waiting for the second half of this season. And we literally watched every episode in one day. And I thought that I'm not going to say any spoilers or whatever for anybody who might want to watch, but I'm just like, okay. And I saw they got renewed for a 6th season. So I'm like, let's go. I want to see what happens. It's really good. But my favorite, like do you know who Lil Dicky is?
Yeah, Dave. The show
Dave. That show Dave, so good. So here's what I've been binge watching. This is what I've gotten into since this stuff started. So I never really listened to many podcasts at all, but I have always been a huge fan of stand-up comics and stand-up comedy in general. And that's actually something that I would like to try one day. But I like some of my favorite comedians are, I love Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, of course, and they have their own little podcast. But my favorite podcast is with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. It's called Bad Friends Podcast. And if you haven't watched it, you need to check them out. Like when I first watched one of their podcasts, I was like, I binge watch all their episodes, and then they put out new episodes on Mondays. But Andrew Santino is the redheaded guy in the show Dave. And that's the first time I ever heard of this guy. So then I saw Andrew Santino on Dave the first season, and I was like, oh, I don't know who that guy is. But then I heard he was a comedian. And then coincidentally, he was on an episode of Joe Rogan, and I watched it, and I was like, I love this guy. And then I found out he had a podcast with Bobby Lee, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. So
I gotta check that out. I haven't checked the podcast, and I love Joe Rogan. He puts me on to a lot of different talents that I may not necessarily know sometimes. I'm like, oh, I like this guy. Let me dig into
Yeah.
what they doing, and then before you know it, they got a billion things going on. You know
Yeah,
that
and
you're into.
he's someone too that I really like because he doesn't seem to be partial to one thing or another. He's very um like fair and like you know, like with people that he brings on and things he talks about and stuff. But man, I can't put Bad Friends podcast over enough. I think that it's a really good one. And then the other show that I watch all the time is American Dad.
Oh yeah, that's classic right there.
So funny.
Yeah, I love South Park still. That's what I watch
South
a
Park
lot.
is so good. I wish so badly that people would stop getting offended over every little thing. And if you like your life would be so much better if you could just laugh shit off. Like it is not that serious. We need to just like take a deep breath and just laugh.
And there's a lot of sarcasm in it too. Like they're trying to push buttons, but they're doing it to show how ridiculous some stuff is in the world and laugh at it too.
Don't take yourself or things so seriously. Like obviously there are things that it is serious, but like come on, man. Like we gotta find ways to come together.
That's right.
That's what
people need to chill a little bit.
Yeah, chill out.
I think people are getting tired of all that extra shit, though. So, I think even people that are extra are getting tired of the extra.
I know. Seriously, there's one person in particular who is one of my friends who's extra AF, and if there was a situation recently, I'm not going to get into, but they were like, okay, this person is being extra. I'm like, okay, if you saying that, then there's a problem because you're the most extra person. And if you're calling somebody extra, then they are being ridiculous.
So I know you're into gaming. You do, you have, what is your Twitch, by the way? I like to plug stuff in the, during the show instead of the very end.
So my Twitch is twitch.tv/Jessicka Havok, and it's spelled JESSICKAHAVOK. I have been streaming on Twitch for about 5 years. I've been partnered with Twitch for about 4 of those years. And I was actually the first professional wrestler that was partnered with Twitch, which I didn't know until they partnered Sami Callihan, who is my fiance.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It's so weird.
Everyone clap in the chat because we all live. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So Twitch is like my happy place. Of course, there's wrestling fans who come in and they're, they want to talk wrestling and stuff. And I'll talk wrestling for a little bit. But like I game so much on there. And my favorite part of Twitch is the community. And a lot of the people that come in and stay, they're like, the reason why I like you so much is because you actually talk to us. And a lot of people, like they just don't, interact with their chat.
Yeah, which is so weird. Like, why are you doing live?
Yeah, why are you doing that then? Why even do this if you don't want to talk to people? And we do get occasional trolls, but I have a really great team of moderators, and and sometimes I have to mod things myself because people have lives, and
exactly,
and I 100% get that, and it can be kind of stressful, especially running like live streams and things like that. But at the end of the day, the Twitch thing, that's like it's my happy place. It's my favorite. And I play a lot of Resident Evil is my favorite gaming series, but I also play a lot of Fallout. Fallout is another really really popular thing that you'll see me play a lot of. That's
classic. What would you say is your top 5 games in the past 5-10 years?
So I would say that's a good question too. I would say that in the past 5 to 10 years. So I've been playing video games ever since I was a kid because of my mom. Like she played video games and she's probably like the best. She like kills it at Crash Bandicoot. And I can't believe that game makes me rage so much.
That's a great game.
Yeah, like, but my mom kills. She kills at Crash Bandicoot. So, but I would say, like, with Resident Evil being my favorite series, I would say that, and I've been playing Resident Evil since '96.
That's dope. I remember when that first came out too.
Yeah, and it was like there's so much to laugh at about it, but overall the game is just so good. It is
classic.
Good. But the Resident Evil, they remade 2 and 3 recently. I would say over the last couple years. Those remakes are fire. So good. Resident Evil 8 just came out, Resident Evil Village. That I will honestly say, after beating that game, I think that's hands down one of the best Resident Evil games ever made. I'm not a fan of first person, but I feel like with Resident Evil 7 and 8, it kind of adds to that experience because they're kind of going back to survival horror stuff too. But like, I think Resident Evil 8 is probably one of the best Resident Evils that they've made so far. Like,
out of all of them, you're saying all of them.
I'm saying out of all of them, and it's
That's
because
a big statement.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sure like that there's going to be people who disagree because my favorite ones, my favorite Resident Evils are 2 and 4, but Resident Evil 8, it's because of the story and how they tied everything up at the end. I'm like, yo, like this is like that. It was the best. It was the best, hands down. So like So The Last of Us is an amazing game. I would definitely put that up in one of the best video games for sure. God of War 4 for sure.
Classic. I love God of War.
Dude, that game was amazing. Like that the newest or the latest one. And I heard that they're actually, I have a God of War statue, but I don't know where, like this entire room is like, I could just turn, like this is like my haven. And this is all. We got Snoop Dogg and Tupac up there too.
I see that up top. Yeah,
this is like all my Fallout. So my favorite games are like Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, like all the old classics, and then like The Last of Us is awesome. Days Gone is really good. Obviously I'm into the whole zombie genre.
Yeah.
So, but like it's so hard to say like for sure what the top 5 best. Oh yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is really good too.
Okay,
definitely get. It is amazing. That game was really good.
So, you're a zombie chick or woman, whatever you like to be called.
Zombie chick's cool. I like that.
Okay. You got to watch what you say. It's like crazy,
I know.
Are you a Walking Dead fan? Like, or were you?
Yes, I was. So, and I don't like, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, that show got really stupid. Well, trying to think of where I stopped. And the reason I stopped wasn't because I thought it was getting bad, because I have to see TV shows through. So I just like in that moment, I think I just got busy and just never got back to it. But like The Walking Dead is definitely, it was one of my favorite shows for a while. I do need to get back into it. I think I'm like a season and a half behind. And then The Walking Dead reminded me of something. I can't remember now though. But I just like how gory that show.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So just a quick little. I feel like I don't know if I'm like keeping you too long.
No, I was feeling the same way with you.
Yeah. No. Honestly, you're okay. I don't have another interview until noon.
Okay.
So like I'm okay to stay a little extra. It's okay.
Yeah.
But like because I could talk about stuff like this all day long.
Yeah, me too.
But like so there was one particular, I'm going to tell you a quick story. AC Romero, he was one of our roommates for about 2 years when we first moved back to Ohio. And he's not like into scary, gory stuff. So, but I needed to catch up on The Walking Dead. And so I'm like, well, he was sitting down in the living room with me and Sammy was on the road for something. And I think it's actually before I got to come back to Impact. I think that's why. And they were on the road constantly. So, so me and AC are sitting on the couch watching, and there's one scene, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was getting their guts ripped out, and I'm like watching it. I'm like, oh my God. And I look over and I see Romero going, and he's like And then he just all of a sudden just grabs the arm of the couch. He goes, ah! Like he screamed. I was like, dude, are you serious right now? I hope that you seriously are so scared, because like it was just such a genuine, funny thing for me to see. And I'm like, oh, I forget. Not everybody's into this stuff.
Yeah.
But, I know what I was gonna say. The show True Blood, that series. I really loved that series, and that's a show that got real stupid in the last 2 seasons. But I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna keep watching it. I don't care.
Yeah, that's how I am with The Walking Dead right now. Like I'm still watching it, but I'm just like, it's just. I also read the books, so like they got rid of Carl. Carl makes it to the end in the comic book because the comic book is over. It's like, why did you take out Carl?
And isn't Daryl's not even a character? Is he in the comic book?
No, he's not.
And people are like, if Daryl dies, we riot. I'm like, okay, that character's awesome. However, he wasn't part of it to begin with. So
I know.
But I do love Norman Reedus. I actually got to meet
he's freaking amazing. You met him?
I met him.
Oh, wow.
And he was so nice. Like, he was so nice. This was like years ago. It was like maybe when season 2 of The Walking Dead just ended or something. Mm-hmm. But I was doing what is it called? I'm so stupid. I was there representing Slant Six.
Doing like a promo.
Yeah. I was doing like stuff. The cosplay thing of there's a game, a side game that Resident Evil made called Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, and Slant Six Games, they had stuff going on there, and I was like dressed up as one of their characters. They're like, yo, you should come to our table, and I'm like, what? This is awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so like but Norman Reedus was there, and you bet your ass I waited in line to meet him, and he was the nicest guy. I knew he was going to be short, but I didn't know he was going to be that little.
How short is he, you think?
He's like, I mean, I might be wrong. I'm just going to guess because Google has all the answers, I'm sure. But I feel like he was only like 5'6" or 5'7".
Alexa, how tall is Norman Reedus?
But I'm also tall for a girl, so...
She don't even know. Alexa, how tall is Norman Reedus?
Norman Reedus' height is 5.91 feet.
5'9".
There's no way.
No way?
There's
She's
no way.
Lying. You lying. What's wrong with you, girl?
Or he's lying, because I'm 5'9" and a half, almost 5'10", and I swear he came up to like here to me.
Really?
I was like, wow, he's really short.
Were you wearing heels though?
No.
Or any kind of big boots or anything?
No, I wasn't. Maybe my boot had maybe a little bit of a lift, but it couldn't have been that much.
Really?
I can't walk in heels. So
yeah. I see sometimes women when they're out and about, I'll see them even taking them off. So I can't imagine. That's got to be a difficult feat, you know?
It is. I hate it. And then you see girls running, like Rebby Sky. She ran down the entrance ramp in heels one time. I'm like,
yeah,
how?
She's a beast. I used to hang out with her in Queens back in the day, so
She's
I know
awesome.
her at the clubs. She's like we used to go out all the time and party. So
and she's legit too. Like that's a real one.
Yeah, she is.
And she ain't scared of nobody. She ain't scared. She's not scared to speak her mind. That's one thing I always respected about her. She's like, and if she got into anything, it was just like, okay. And I'm like,
she's badass. Back in the day, she used to have a piercing right here. It went right through over there.
Ow.
I mean, this was before wrestling and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
We're both New Yorkers, so it's happened to be we were friends back in the days. Shout out to Rebby. Congratulations with everything too, with the kiddos and everything too.
Yeah, Rebby, she's awesome.
Let's see what else I want to ask you. So as far as horror, who's the number one stunner? Michael Myers, Jason, or Freddy?
I think Freddy.
Yeah, me too.
I think he's always been my favorite.
And I liked him too because he had a little bit of humor to him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Before he takes you out, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's what I most appreciate is the sense of humor. You gotta love a guy with a sense of humor.
What's your go-to comedies? Like if you wanted to get a quick laugh and watch a comedy movie. I
like so many of them. So Billy Madison.
Classic.
I would say I love Jack Black as well. So School of Rock is awesome.
I was an extra in that movie.
You were? Oh my god. That's awesome. And I like Nacho Libre, people, especially wrestlers.
Slept on.
But wrestlers hated that movie, and I'm like, why? And then like one guy was like, because he gave a vertical suplex and then he sold his back. I was like, if you think about it, we're both boom taking this back bump. Why, like that does hurt, but we in the moment, okay. But I love Nacho Libre. I just love Jack. I think Jack Black is very talented. He's even amazing in the Jumanji movies.
Oh yeah.
I hate TikTok, but people like sometimes I'll see a TikTok of his pop up and I'm like, he's hilarious. He's so funny.
He's got a great combination of this goofy, silly, but also you take him as a serious comedian too and an actor.
Yeah.
You can do it all. Like
he's got a great range. And fun fact, I like when I was like a teenager, I was like, Jack Black is so cute. Like he was my crush.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
I like to end the interviews with this for two reasons. It just showcases, the best of the best for people that are diehard fans of you, and then people that are, just getting to watch you. What actual matches are you so proud of that you would love people to watch or watch again?
That is another amazing question. Best interviewer ever. So I would say the first one that popped in my head when you asked that is, I don't remember what year it is, but this match is on YouTube. If you guys type in Jessicka Havok versus Courtney Rush at Smash Wrestling. It was at the Canusa Classic where it's like a tournament, Canadian wrestlers versus American wrestlers. And, whoever wins the most matches on each side, that's who won that year. So me and Courtney Rush were the main event. And by the time of the main event, America we already won. Like we'd already won. So this was just now we're going to go out here and we're just going to fight. And for those of you who don't know, Courtney Rush is actually Rosemary. And that was the match when Courtney Rush was transitioning into Rosemary. That was like the first.
Really?
Yes. And a lot of people don't know that. Yes. So I had a hand in who Rosemary was, like, her coming to fruition as well. So we wrestled. First of all, it is probably my favorite match of my career so far. We killed it. It was a long match, but it was so I don't even know how I kept my energy up for that. I think I was just feeding off the adrenaline and the fact that Courtney Rush or Rosemary can pull the best out of me in matches. And I feel like we do that for each other. So definitely that match. It is on YouTube. I would say if you guys want to see a super green Havok, maybe 2 years in, get her butt kicked by Luna Vachon.
Oh, goodness.
That match, that was probably one of the most painful, worst experiences in my career, but I wouldn't trade it because I feel like it toughened me up and I feel like I learned a lot from it just because she was brutal and she kicked my ass and she was very old school and I had never been beat up like that before. So, but that match is on YouTube as well. Luna Vachon versus Jessicka Havok. It's Cleveland All Pro match. You guys can find that. And I would have to say that one of my favorite matches more recently would have had to be when Nevaeh and I tagged against Jazz and Jordan Grace, because Jazz has always been one of my top 3 favorite. It was Luna, Ivory, and Jazz. And I actually finally checked Jazz off my list. I've gotten to wrestle all 3 of them.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I think that those are, I would put those like Rosemary. My match with Rosemary at Smash is definitely probably my favorite. There's a whole. I'm sure there's other ones that I could think of, but I would say if there's any matches that you guys can find of me versus Rosemary, me versus Taya, or even me versus Kimberly, me and Kimberly have really good chemistry as well. So those are some of my, rather than favorite matches, I would say that look for matches with my favorite opponents, which would be Taya, Rosemary, Kimberly, and Sue Young, actually. So
yes, you got to watch the Sue Young stuff.
Yes, she's great.
But you see, I like Walking Dead. I like all them kind of visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just love that shit so much. Well, hey, I don't want to keep you, thank you so much for your time. And
thank you for having me. This was a great interview. This was so fun.
Yeah, I try to make it fun,
Yeah.
And I'm sure you get asked the same freaking questions all the time.
I do. So you had some really good ones, and I hope that your audience enjoys the interview as well.
I'm sure they are. The chat looks like it. They love you. Big fans.
Oh, good. I love you guys too.
Kappa the Don is a huge fan of you.
Oh,
Ty Woods is a huge fan of you. So they're very happy that you're here.
Thank you, guys.
Can you just tell everyone? Well, I have your Twitter in the description, but is there anything you want to plug or tell?
Sure. So aside from Twitter, I have an Instagram which I'm more active on. It's at Havok Death Machine, all one. And then of course my twitch.tv/Jessicka Havok. If you guys ever want to check me out, I don't have a schedule per se, but you will find me streaming almost daily. So just go give me a follow, and when that notification comes up, come on in.
Come through, hang out.
Yeah.
And big day, July 17th, once again, Slammiversary will be pay-per-view. So, get that pay-per-view, because Slammiversary is a big deal. It's a big effing deal every year. I'm always excited, and they always deliver when it comes to Slammiversary. They always deliver all the time. Impact is
it's
the shit. We can't swear. It's the shit. And also Thursday nights on Access TV. Go check it out. I watched last night. It was great. And, I always watch. I've been watching Impact forever.
Yes.
One more question. I have to ask you this.
Sure.
Tupac and Biggie, give us some of your favorite songs from both of them, because you got that poster on your wall. It'd be a sin for me not to ask you that.
Man, so I love California Love. I don't know why. Let me pull up my music list real quick, because I got some Tupac on there. I love Tupac and I love Snoop. Like, Snoop Dogg is one of my favorite. I follow him on Instagram. If you guys don't follow Snoop Dogg on Instagram,
he's hilarious.
That is a laugh riot for sure. But like, California Love will always be one of my favorite, and it's probably cliche, just because I remember when I got to go to California and we were just driving through this awesome city. I was like, I'm going to be one of those people to put on California Love right now, because I want to listen to this. But I like All Eyes on Me as well.
Classic.
And then Hit 'Em Up. I don't know. And a lot of people, they're like, oh, I didn't know that you liked rap, because a lot of people
they just look at you and assume that you're just like, and that's it, right?
Yeah. But I'm like, no, when it comes to music, I try to have a variety. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite rappers though is Tech Nine.
Oh, my brother will be at that show too that I'm going to in Virginia.
I bet he's so good live. I love that guy. My brother, he goes by Loke the Demigod. He's actually a rapper as well, but he is actually who got me onto Tech Nine. And I was like, yo, he's so good. And of course I like Eminem too. I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
But I like, there's a lot of different rappers that I like. I like Joyner Lucas, and it's so many that I could name right now, but the only music I can't get on board with, I tried, is country. It's like, there's not too many country singers that I'm like, oh, I love it. But
yeah, it just don't hit well for me either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had to ask that question.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I had a blast.
I'll be definitely watching Slammiversary and Impact on Thursday nights. Guys, ladies, thank you for tuning in. You could be anywhere in the world. You here with us. and we'll see you soon. Much love.